Hey, yo, what is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast coming at you with the weekly live episode. Doing a solo today, cricket out of conflict of schedules, man, but we'll be back next week in our new day on Wednesdays as this NFL season winds down. We're going to try to switch this up around because we're going to be covering other sports. But we are starting to start doing this every Wednesday starting next week. But today, man, got a lot on my plate. About to take it down. We got to discuss this weekend's NFL Super Wild Card Weekend overreactions. I got, in case you missed it, the latest headlines of the week. We got a lot of things popping, baby. We got to go ahead and let's get this started, brother. Why don't we start with the biggest and top storylines of the Super NFL Wild Card Weekend? Here we go, baby. As we get down, comment machine is already on. Let me see. Oh, my boy Jim is in the building, in the comments, firing it up, getting it started like he always does. Shit. You would have told me I don't have a shit, but I would have hop on like Watson on a massage table. Hey, man, if you're still on it, brother, I'll send you the invite right now and get your ass in here if you're still down. Let me go ahead and do that. We could actually do that. I'll send you an invite, Jim, if you're still down. But yeah, man, we actually got going on. We got this weekend's, we got the wild card weekend on fire. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and let me copy a link and send this over to Jim to see if he's still down. It's going on your YouTube link. I'm going to send it to you through TikTok, Jim. But yeah, once again, as a Giants fan, it gives me a lot of pleasure, and I'm not going to lie, that both the Eagles and Dallas Cow bitches are completely out of the playoffs, all right? Not going to lie. Not going to lie. They only play one more week than we did, technically. But one thing that has to be said for sure, the Dallas Cowboys, cowgirls, cow bitches, whatever you want to call them, have to be the biggest postseason chokers in the history of the NFL. Not being biased, but think about this. According to StatMuse, worst playoff record since 2000. 5-9. Hold on, my boy Jim is hopping on, baby. Impromptu jumping into the building. Let's go.
Anytime I can fill in for cricket, let's go.
All right, man. I didn't know what your schedule was like. It was kind of last minute, but let's go, man.
Cigar, fucking picking my ass.
No, what I was saying, Jim, there has to be no other worse choking franchise history in the playoffs than the Dallas Cowboys, right? I mean, look at this. Look at this stat, right? They have the worst playoff record since 2000. So I'm going to give you the ones that have the better record than they do, but they right there in the top four. The Vikings are 5-9, the Titans are 5-9, the Bengals are 5-9, and the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. The Cowboys are 4-10. And here's the sad part.
Oh, so they're like
With the support. Let me go ahead and there you go. Let me raise your volume a little bit. With the support that Dallas has had through both of his quarterbacks, I mean, with Romo and Dak, there's no reason why they should have the worst record. All right, since the year 2000. Dak right now has to be the biggest choke artist. All right, people like to blame Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a stud next to this guy because he's had way more talent around him. All right, Kirk Cousins never had a good defense, never had a good offensive line. Dak has had that through his entire career. And this loss, I'm not blaming it just on Dak. I mean, it's the whole fucking team. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, everybody and their mother, they completely choked.
mean fucking house. The fact that at this point, like they were talking about before the game, and I don't know if you saw the report that they were willing to give Dak $60 million a year for
Wow.
what? For what? Being a
Wow.
below top 15 quarterback? No, ridiculous. And if you're gonna stick with Mike McCarthy, this tells you all you need to know if you're a 1-star rating fan is that you're accepting mediocrity. That's what Jerry Jones is telling you. We're going to be mediocre until Jerry Jones relinquishes control of this team.
Yep.
This is what it's going to be. And people are like, oh, well, if they fire McCarthy, Belichick's going to come here. No, he's not. That's a nightmare made into like a fucking, like the worst made horror movie ever, because Belichick's going to want control of this, control of that, and Jerry will not relinquish any of it. He has to have a chokehold on everything.
And to be honest with you, brother, if Belichick joins that team, he's not going to make much of a difference because, dude, Belichick is done, bro. Let's call it like it is, all right? He's not made for this new generation, and he's not going to go in there and do the same offensive thing like he does for New England, bro. That's not the solution. It's not the solution. And whoever thinks that Belichick is a solution in that team, most likely Jerry Jones is, but you're right. I think it starts with taking Jerry, like his kids to go to me like that, relinquish the fucking team. All right, let's get a GM. Let's do this, okay? Let's get a GM. Let's go ahead and get creative, and stop running the operation, right? Well, you got all the money in the world. You could probably have the best mind running this team and getting you like 3 more Super Bowls in the next the next 20 years, because the past 20 years have sucked ass. You know what I mean? More the last 30 something years have sucked ass.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, the Packers went in there and ran a fucking train on them. Jordan Love looked like Aaron Rodgers 2.0. Aaron Jones was like, you know what, guys, might be my last game as a Packer, but I'm going to go out with a bang. 3 touchdowns, 118 yards. Romeo Doubs was looking like CeeDee Lamb. Luke Musgrave was catching touchdowns. I mean, the youngest team in the league, all right, with the least experience, a first-year starting quarterback, while they go into your house where you've won 16 straight fucking games and you get ass slapped like that, dude. All right, this is like Debbie Does Dallas 29 on fucking steroids, all right? That's how bad of a banging the fucking Cowboys got this weekend. It's insane. And I'm all here for it. They
got fucking raw dogged.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody's ever been raw dogged a day in their life.
My gosh, man. There was
picked them in the Steel and Teal picks. So Garrett got that one on me, but I got Garrett on Saturday. So,
dude, I got everything right, man. You know what pisses me off about that, right? I had a nice 4-leg parlay that I said I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna leave it there, right? I picked the over, and you saw what I did my picks, right? I picked the over, and I picked them on the money line. But so I picked the over. I picked Brandon Cooks over on catches, Ferguson over on catches, that hit, and Jordan Love over 1.5 touchdowns. And it was a nice return of like over 1,000 plus 1,000, right? I said, this is good. Let me not get greedy. But I said to myself, I don't trust the spread, so I'm not going to pick the game. Then at the end, it was minus 350 for the money line. You're like, look, there's going to be a time that they win and don't choke as this one. And when I picked it, I put it in. I'm like, oh, shit. Then I regretted it because then I started getting the eerie feeling. And when the game started and it was 27-0, like within a quarter, I'm like, yeah, there we go. Serves you well, dumbass.
Well, that's like one of my fucking parlays. I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, this is going to hit. And then, nope, shit, the fucking bet like Dallas did against Green Bay.
Oh, man. But listen, one thing about the Cowboys, man, I mean, it's crazy how, Dak had over 400 yards and threw for 3 touchdowns. But you cannot give up those pick sixes like that, man.
No, especially throwing one to Jair Alexander.
Yep, absolutely.
And then they score on that one. And then you go and you throw a pick 6 to Savage, who is clearly spying.
Oh, my gosh.
Even I saw it. I'm like, oh, here comes a pick 6. Sure enough, there it is. Savage is running into the end zone like a fucking savage.
It is. No pun intended. I mean, hey, I'm here for it, bro. That's one team that's down, and it's all good. It's all good because Dallas, listen, beautiful thing that they have all this money, all this talent around them, and they just play one more week of football than the Giants did, and they're back in the couch with us in Cancun. Throwing it back, bro. Yep. Staying with the fucking choker situation here, man. First of all, the Eagles. I don't want to call that a choke job because I called that game as well because they were spiraling the last 5 of the seasons, and you and I have had the same sentiments when it comes to Baker Mayfield. This dude has been on a redemption tour like I've never seen another quarterback do a complete 180. All right, for his career, #1 pick, getting fucked. then being a journeyman technically with two different teams, right? I mean, the poor guy was sent to like oblivion football oblivion in the Panthers, right? Then goes to the Rams, has a nice game, gets picked up by this team who puts a bunch of incentives on his contract. You know, it's like, listen, dude, prove yourself. Bro, goes to the playoffs, beats the defending Super Bowl Super Bowl contender handedly. I mean, what a game he had. Threw for 3 touchdowns. Dude, one thing you could always say, he has heart, right? Nobody ever said that he doesn't have heart. But absolutely, man, I am happy for the guy because, he has a chip on his shoulder and he plays better as an underdog.
And Cleveland,
Yep.
You wish you had this fucking Baker Mayfield, that's for sure, because where's Watson standing next to C.J. Stroud? And people like, who's this guy next to Stroud? And C.J. Stroud's like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is because I made you all forget who he is.
Yep. That's crazy. Right now, so there's been 2 things that have backfired and has backfired, but that's keep cementing how bad of a contract that was. One, they draft a quarterback who is 1,000 times better than Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson was good in the damn Texas. I'm not gonna lie. But CJ Stroud erased that in 1 season, all right, by going to the fucking Browns and making them their bitches. That's 1. 2, Baker telling you guys again, I was the better quarterback. I was not the problem. You guys were the problem, all right? You effed everything up. You screwed me. I gave you my blood, sweat, and tear playing hurt left and right. And guess what, dude? I got 2 playoffs wins. Me taking you bozos, all right? Once, you know what I mean, and winning a playoff game, and then I did it again with a different team, so I wasn't the problem. The Browns look like the biggest shit show organization in the world, and they just keep doing shit that comes back and bites them in the ass to keep proving that they are the worst organization probably in the history of the NFL.
And I'm here for it.
I know you are. I know you are, man.
Oh, and by the way, they added a new award over the weekend.
What do they add?
Disappearing Player of the Year, and that goes to, has anyone seen Myles Garrett?
Oh, that's true. Oh, PAF, man. PFF. There you go, buddy. Great job choosing. You just fucked Myles Garrett up.
Fuck faces, as I like to call.
Oh, man. Listen, let me tell you something. What's impressive, man. C.J. Stroud, dude. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a rookie quarterback go in his first playoff game, annihilate a team in 3 quarters, and then sit down, get benched, and put in the backup. I've watched a lot of football. I've never seen a rookie quarterback start his first playoff game and not finish it because they were shellacking the hell out of the other team so bad. Never seen that before.
He's like, a Browns fan he messages me on Twitter, and he's like, oh, C.J. Stroud ain't going to do shit. So I went to YouTube and I fucking found the Ohio State-Georgia game when C.J. Stroud decimates them. I was like, this is your fate in a few hours. Just watch this game because this is what's going to happen to you fucking clowns, and you're done. And sure enough, God, I love being right.
Man, this is great. Let me tell you something. Did you see? He made a throw to Nico Collins, man. When he actually did you see that throw, bro? A flick of the wrist, 45 yards. I'm like, put it with Nico while he was getting banged up. I mean, that tells you everything about that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he is such.
I think we did a similar parlay when we took Ford.
Yes.
When we took karate kicking fucking Kareem Hunt.
I know, man. We should have taken fucking white beater boy, man. I'm telling you, that fucked us up. That really fucked us up. But CJ's built different, man. I think the Texans have a nice core, young group, man. He is legit. I've been a fan of his since day one. They're gonna be around for a while, man. I feel sorry for Garrett, bro. But it used to be the Jaguars division. Now it's up for grabs, man. Every year it's gonna be a dogfight.
Well, and the other thing too is, and this is what I think cements DeMeco Ryans as coach of the year.
Yes.
Because usually a rebuild, and I'm sure you could agree, takes 2 to 3, max 4 years.
Yes.
He did this in 1 year.
1 year.
So Texans fans, find yourself a Browns fan, shake their hand like you would a veteran in the Army, the Marines, the Navy. Shake their hand and say thank you for your shitty fucking franchise trading for our predator quarterback. Okay, and then giving us a king's ransom that turned into Christian Harris or Christian Woods, whatever his last name is.
Yep.
That turned into Tank Dell.
Yep.
It turned into Will Anderson.
Mhm.
It turned into C.J. Stroud. Okay? It turned into all that in 1 year.
Tank Dell is not even playing because he's out for the season. Imagine Tank Dell in this offense because he was the best receiver in that team when he went down.
Better than Miami against Denver.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, that was crazy. I was nuts. I'm happy for CJ. Dude is legit, man. He is the next up. It is what it is, man. Let me see here. Staying in the we're gonna keep doing a few more of those games before we do our predictions. Bro, let me tell you something, man. Josh Allen is a one-man wrecking crew, bro. I mean, that team, and I know it's your Pittsburgh Steelers, bro, right? You know, and I know it's a sour note here, but even as a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, Josh Allen is it's a one-man wrecking crew, bro.
I'll give him credit. He's talented, but he is the whiniest bitch on the field.
You know, you can't be perfect.
I mean, he wants every fucking flag. I mean, Mason Rudolph had the same hit earlier in the game, no flag. Josh Allen sitting there whining and crying like he's a Kardashian that got left at the fucking altar, and he gets a friggin' flag thrown. I mean, but again, you have Steeler fans saying that this game is because of the refs.
No, not 100%.
No, I mean, did the refs miss a lot of calls? I bet your ass they did, but they weren't prepared. Mason did the best he could.
Yep.
You had no ball control. You literally had no run game. Why are you running east-west with Najee Harris when he's a down-the-middle running back who could barrel through anybody is beyond me. Dude,
when you saw Mason Rudolph sling it that much at the beginning of the game, you knew the game was over. Because that's not your identity. You know, the throwing game comes from the run game. And that's how you knew it. It was like, oh, fuck. And that in those conditions, that kind of weather. I mean, look, Josh Allen himself threw it less than Mason Rudolph. He went 21 for 30. Rudolph attempted 39 times. He had 3 touchdowns via air, and then the dude had another freaking 74 yards on the ground with that 52-yard touchdown. But that was the difference, right? They kept that balance. And remember what I told you this past Friday when we did Cigars and Sports? It's like, dude, you know, having him with 74 rushing yards and James Cook with another 70-something, you got 2 running backs and you're getting – and they outrushed the Steelers. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I mean, you had freaking and look, Diggs hasn't been nowhere to be found. All right, for like half of the season. I mean, Kincaid had the other receivers. This guy Khalil Shakir had a touchdown. Dawson Knox had a touchdown. It's not like they have a great explosive offense. I mean, it's Josh Allen making all this shit work with nothing, dude. I mean, he's making chicken soup out of chicken shit. You know what I mean? That's why I give him a lot of credit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do, but now now you got to play Kansas City.
That's tough.
Who I think they have their number 1 receiver in Rashee Rice.
Yep, well, he is.
You could duplicate what Mahomes and Tyreek Hill did with Rice and Mahomes. They have the same skill set.
Mm-hmm.
You, in essence, can duplicate that. So, I mean, do I see Kansas City beating Buffalo?
Oh, I think it's yeah. I haven't really, we'll talk about it when we do the predictions, but I think it's going to be a closer game than it is. And I think for once, it's not like a clear-cut game. You know, like a couple of years ago when they met each other, they had that shootout, and Mahomes won it because they went to overtime. And, the overtime rules kind of suck. You know what I'm saying, dude? Which it is what it is. Brady benefited from that rule a lot in his career. So, you can't really say anything. The rules are there to be abused. So, but I think I'm looking forward to that game. That's actually one of my favorite games. That and the Ravens and the Texans. Those are my 2 favorite games coming next week. But yeah, man, listen, your Steelers got a lot of things to work out, man. You got a lot of holes in the organization. Tomlin, I think, said today that they had a meeting with the team, and he is coming back for his last year, which I think you should do that before you want to, he still has 1 more year left. What's the point of letting him go? What's the alternative?
The last I read, he's coming back and that they're going to work on a long-term extension. Which, okay, that's fine. But then you got to change part of the culture of this franchise.
Yes. Yeah.
Because, at the end of the game, Najee coming out and saying, there's not a lot of discipline. We have to change the culture and all this stuff. Cam came out today. He's saying it's not that. So you have dissension in the locker room, which is part of your problem in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
But you got to get a different offensive coordinator, and you're not getting that. You're not getting that next coordinator knowing that next year might be Tomlin's last year. That's why you have to do the long-term extension before you get the next best offensive coordinator out there. Like, bring in Mike Vrabel to be the offensive coordinator. I don't give a shit. Because then when Tomlin walks away, there's your safety net. Vrabel could take the head coaching position.
We've seen it do it, right? Honestly, I think the Titans really just want to flush house because, dude, Vrabel you could have kept it for one more year. You know what I mean? But yeah, Vrabel could be that guy.
He wasn't a bad coach in Tennessee. It's just
no, he wasn't.
You had a shit quarterback in Tannehill. You had lightning in the bottle when they went to the AFC Championship game and choked. Other than that, I mean, you had 4 straight playoff appearances. But what did you really have after that? And I think ownership just used Vrabel as the scapegoat to clean house.
He was coach of the year a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? So
and now you just ship him off like he's fucking trash.
Yep, absolutely, man. Now this game was entertaining right here, man. The Rams and the Detroit Lions, both quarterbacks, man. You know, they both had a storyline. We traded for each other. I won it when you couldn't in LA, but you know, you're over here now, and I'm coming back home to prove myself. This game, if it wasn't that pass interference, I mean, that missed pass interference could have changed a whole alternative here, but it was entertaining. Nobody really complained about it. Look, the Rams, I think you keep this band together one more year because I think you got people on their salary. Puka Nacua is that dude. All right. Kyron Williams, who did not have a great game, is that dude. Is still rushed for 4.69 yards per carry. Matthew Stafford, I think he still has some bullets left in that clip, my man. 367, 2 touchdowns. Look, it was a very entertaining game, but, you know, shout out to the Lions, man. I mean, look, they were due for one, right? They haven't won a playoff game in God knows how long. So,
I'm 42, so they haven't won one in 30 years.
Yeah, it's 30 years. It's the second. Yeah, that's right. You know, Goff went in there and played his game. Don't turn the ball over, right? The running game has been huge. And remember, you and I called it. Sam Laporta, even though he was playing at 100%, dude, the guy just catches touchdowns. You know what I mean? 3 targets, 14 yards, but that was a huge touchdown and a catch that not a other single wide receiver made in the end zone. He was the only wide receiver to make a catch. The other 2 touchdowns were Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. You know what I mean? It was a very, very tough game from both ends. I think both coaches were just moving chess pieces, man. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, man, it's just a matter of seconds and a call here and there.
But in the big spot, McVay got out coached by a rookie head coach. Second year.
No. Yeah, Meathead has been around for 3 years now. And remember,
I'm sorry, Lions fans.
Yeah. Remember, Meathead also coached. He was an interim head coach for the Dolphins when they fired Philbin way back when.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
No. Look, he paid his dues. I'm a Dan Campbell fan because the guy's a typical meathead. I'm gonna run through the fucking wall. Hey, where's my keg? Where's the fucking keg? I'm gonna do some keg stands and get hammered. That's the kind of guy. And people like that individual. He attracts it. Whether he's gonna be the guy to take a team to the Super Bowl, I don't know. He's not playing with a full deck. I mean, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but however, he's still alive in the playoffs. He's done a great job with that team. They drafted well, and he's been able to get the best out of all these players. So I give him a shout out. He's still alive. Let's see what he does next week, man. All right, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a nice matchup. Dallas and the Eagles being out kind of makes it a little easier to get to the NFC Conference Championship. So, oh man. So I actually picked the spread on this game, and it hit. It was +3, so they lost by 1 point. So let me hit the comments real quick, Jim. All right, Ravery Sports Podcast. Why anyone want Bill Belichick as a coach at this point? I don't know. Was great, but he's 72. That's right, he's 72, and however, he's also way behind the times when it comes to this new age offense, bro.
Now, but before you went live and I hopped on, there's something else I seen. He wants to go to a team with talent but underachieves. I wonder why.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
There's no pressure.
It is.
None at all. There's no high expectations. Like if he were to, even though the Eagles said if they fire Sirianni, they wouldn't even entertain it. That's why Dallas shouldn't even entertain it. That's why the Falcon job is pretty much perfect.
It is, and we're gonna hit that when we get closer because he's spot on my case. It is for him. I mean, that team is pretty well equipped. All he needs is a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? All he needs is a quarterback. So,
Listen, maybe Cleveland could trade Watson to Atlanta.
yep, that's true. That's true, man. Fucking Baker Mayfield, man. You got to give him a shout out, bro. Yeah, that dude. As much as I didn't like his ass and he's cocky and shit, I like when individuals, get knocked down on the ground and get back up again. You know what I'm saying? That is the most. That is usually the biggest character build up that any man can ever get. When you're on top, get your ass knocked down, and then you're forced to like eat crud and then get back up there again, and you become a better person for it. Those are the individuals who go back. And talking about a better person, it's not the Miami Dolphins because again, Fugazi since day one, fake as hell, and it was proven this week. I don't care how cold it was, even if it was like 90 degrees, Miami was not going to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. So it's just again there. Tua 199. I mean, it was just bad overall. Tua didn't play great. I know it was cold. Everybody was banged up, but the fact that you cannot. It's unacceptable that from Mike McDaniel to not involve all that talent in the backfield. I know Mostert just got back, but Devon Achane, who you've seen, he's a baller. He's a multi-purpose, multi-skill back. To only have 6 carries and 9 yards, that's on the coach. You can't. You gotta draw. You gotta do better than that.
Bad game plan, bad execution,
All over the place.
bad everything. Again, I get you down. Your top pass rushers and all that, but I mean, come on. Even with the weather factor, Tua's got a good skill set, but again, that's not the guy that's getting you to the Super Bowl.
No,
not with that talent. Even with all that talent, he's not the guy to do it. I hate to say it.
I've been saying this day one. I love the guy. The guy is a battler, but the guy has heart, man. He's his own worst enemy because he's got to get hurt. But again, it's back-to-back seasons, first round out after starting like a house of fire, man. So, it's not how you start the year, man. It's how you finish. And both years they started hot and finished completely under the bottom here, man. So, Patrick Mahomes does what he does best, bro. Threw for a touchdown, had himself 41 yards on the ground, made some plays. Rashee Rice, again, I think he's emerging, as we've seen it little by little, as the wide receiver one of this team. And if you could get this production from Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce, 7 receptions, 8 receptions, you know what I'm saying? That kind of production, it definitely helps pick up the slack for all these plumbers you have here. Noah Gray, Marcus Scantling, Richie James, McCole Hardman. It helps a little bit pick up the slack for all these cab drivers and dishwashers they call wide receivers in your team. So let me go to this comment real quick over here by our boy Ravery Sports. I think the Eagles might be going. I mean, look, here's the thing. When it comes to firing a coach, what else is out there? All right. Is it better than what you have right now? That's why you fire a coach. If you know you're going to pick up somebody better. That's my take, right? There's coaches here that are successful. Maybe not winning, but they've been over 500, like Sirianni. I think this is one of those that if you're the organization, it's like it's more than just coaching. You have a problem in the locker room. Now, if it's the coach's fault, like it was with Staley up in in the Chargers and all that kind of shit, then you may have to cut the coach. But in this case, I think it's more of a personnel issue here, and they got a lot of issues, man. This team did not look great, and I don't think the team was buying into Jalen Hurts' leadership as well this season.
Well, no, because you've seen it all year long where, like, players coming up to him and they're like, A.J. Brown. You've seen Dallas Goedert do it last night. You can't put that – I mean, you got to put that on the coach because he's got to set the tone.
Yep.
But, I mean, the guy got you to the
Super Bowl last year.
To the Super Bowl last year. You knew there was going to be with new coordinators that went off to Arizona and Indy, right? You knew that you were going to bring in 2 coordinators that maybe didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yep.
And I understand when something like this happens, the immediate reaction is fire the coach. But if you're an Eagles fan who just wants to blame the coach, I'm going to tell you right now, you obviously haven't seen what else has been going on the whole year. You haven't seen A.J. Brown's tirades on the sideline. You haven't seen the fact that Hurts is playing banged up all year long. The fact that they didn't gel at all. And granted, you started 10-1, And then the downward spiral came, and I think it was just everybody's had enough of all the
Yeah.
bullshit in the locker room, and where it should have been kept in the locker room transpired to the field, and you've seen it, and it affected everybody in a different way. And I don't know if Hurts is the guy who can handle that pressure. I don't know if he can.
This season, it's a great thing when everybody's on top, right? And everybody's winning, right? That's great. Unfortunately, when you have the years like this, which is the turbulent years with the turmoil, that's how these quarterbacks like Brady handled this over and over again in his career with New England. You know what I mean? That's how you know whether you're going to be the guy that's going to be successful for this team or not. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. It sucks, bro. It really do sucks for this team. And I think I don't think firing the coach this season is the answer. You know, you got problems there that you need to help the coach with, and in order to keep moving forward. So let me go to the. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. Yep, Sirianni's been 34-17. This guy at one point was 33 and like 11. You know what I'm saying, dude? You know, in 3 seasons. So again, if you don't have anything better than the alternative, which I don't think they do, it is what it is. Hold on a second. That's my sports. That's my sport. Bradbury was the MVP of the game. Hey, you could say that. You could definitely say that, right? Thank you for jumping on. That's my sport and Reverie Sports. We appreciate the support. Oh man, let's jump on to some of these matchups here. All right, let's go and kind of like break these quick the games next week. Let's see what we have. We're not gonna go into too much detail picks, but let me see here. Let me bring up my graphic. All right, divisional weekend, baby, is next week. You know, we got a total of 8 games, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Like I mentioned, the 2 marquee matchups for me. I am dying to see 2 young quarterbacks, you know, an MVP. The next up, Ravens have their best team they've ever had against a team that went in there and manhandled the Browns and really do not have anything to lose but everything to gain in the Texans, because CJ Stroud definitely is that dude. Let's leave that one for last, right? All right. Why don't we go? We'll leave that one for last. But we're going to start with the Bucks and the Lions. But after what I saw last week, I mean, this past yesterday, I mean, the Lions have a better offense. They are probably going to slap the Bucks. They're going to go out there quicker. But the Bucks defense is not a joke. I think the Bucks defense, you see what they did last night, man. They get after the quarterback. Their middle is strong. Unfortunately, they have a really bad rushing game and from the offensive side. But their defense is a defense that can win games in the postseason, which I give them a plus for that. The Lions, again, you know, Laporta can get healthier one more week, and they play the same way they play the Rams. I think the Lions should be able to take this one. I'm not going to talk about the spread. What do you think? But I wouldn't be surprised if Baker pulls another rabbit out of his ass.
I think this game's a lot closer than people are going to.
I think so too.
But I think the Lions pull it out because they just offensively they're just better. They have more weapons than what Tampa has.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, you have Amon St. Brown, who could literally get open at any point. Yep. You have Gibbs and Montgomery. You can use out of the backfield as receiving weapons. You have Laporta. You have Williams, who's coming on now. Mm-hmm. You have the fucking Reynolds kid, Jeff Reynolds, whatever his name is.
Yeah, can still go.
You have him as well, and you have a pretty decent defense. I mean, their secondary is
it's a little suspect.
Suspect at times, but then again, Baker is wildly inaccurate at times, will overthrow people, and if you can get Baker to make enough mistakes,
that's how you beat him.
The Lions can easily beat them by like 10.
Exactly. I mean, that it could go either a 10-point win, a close game win, or the Bucks actually pulling it off, you know, on a very close game. But, you know, right now, it's like I said, it's postseason football, man. You got 2 teams that, you know, that have never been in that situation before with their current quarterbacks. You know, they've been there before. You know, not the Lions. The Lions have never been there. But the Bucks were there with Brady. This is Baker Mayfield, not Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? So, We shall see. But I think definitely give the nod to the Lions. But I would not be surprised if this game can go the other way. And it's definitely, like you said, I agree with you. It's going to be a lot closer than you think. All right, the Green Bay Packers and the 49ers. Look, the 49ers, I don't think, are the fucking cow bitches. I think that the 49ers are going to do what Dallas should have done. All right, manhandle a young team that has no experience and a bad O-line. All right, because this defense is that good. The offense is that good. And I don't see Purdy making mistakes. I see Christian McCaffrey with 150 or 200 all-purpose yards and a couple of touchdowns. Debo getting loose. Ayuk getting loose. This is not going to be a close game, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't looked at the spread yet. Great win for the Packers. They're proving that, hey, Aaron Rodgers, who we got J Love, will take this first win, right, in his first season in the playoffs, and we'll be happy with that check because I think the 49ers are not the Dallas Cowboys. They are a much, much better team and better run and coach.
Without a doubt. I mean, can Green Bay keep up with them for a bit? Maybe, but once Kyle Shanahan says, all right, enough's enough, let's fucking put the pedal to the metal, that's it. McCaffrey's going to go off. Debo's going to go off. You may even see a Kyle Juszczyk touchdown in this game.
Hey, man. Kyle Juszczyk's wife, did you see all the jackets she's making now, bro? She made that shit for Taylor the Hoe, and then, she has to do this. She had like 400,000 followers overnight. She's got to be selling these leather jackets left and right, bro. Guess what, man? Kyle Juszczyk has found himself some extra revenue. All right? Actually, Kyle Juszczyk is such a key. I mean, everybody in that team like buys that dude dinner because he doesn't make a lot of money. He's a fullback, right? But he does everything that makes everybody else looks better. Makes Debo looks good because he's doing the block. Fucking another blocker for McCaffrey, getting in the end zone. And everybody loves that guy, bro, because that guy is a big factor whether he's getting in the end zone or not. So, but yeah, that's not gonna be close. I don't see Green Bay going up 27-0 like they did on Dallas. It's not gonna happen.
I think the only way you see that is if like key guys on the 49ers defense is if they lose significant,
somebody goes down.
That's it.
For that to happen, you need like two people to go down. You need both Bosa and what's the other guy to fucking go down. That's the only way that's gonna happen.
You need Chase Young to go down. Bosa, Fred Warner.
Yeah, that's right.
To go down. I'll tell you right now, though. I mean, Love does look good, and his numbers are a bit better than Rodgers' first year as a starter. So.
Yep. But listen, dude, Dallas was so lost on defense for a team that has that good of a defense. I mean, Love was making some throws that you were like, dude, he's falling backwards into his right. He's not doing this on purpose. He's just because a good defense would have read that shit as soon as he got off, and that would have been a pick six or been a pick, you know what I mean? Or they would have forced something. I mean, he made some throws that Dallas should have been on top of that. It's, again, bad planning and bad scheming. The defensive coordinator for, he's no DeMeco Ryan for the Niners, right? Or Robert Saleh, but he's better than probably Dan Quinn because, that's what Dan Quinn's not going to be. He's taking a coaching job and getting the hell out of Dallas before shit gets even worse, So yeah, that's I think that's going to be a decisive game. That's a no contest. Kansas City against Josh Allen. First year Kansas City's playing in the fucking road, baby, in all their years in the postseason. That is wild to freaking, apart from the Super Bowl, to fathom. That's how good Patrick Mahomes and that Kansas City team has been since Patrick Mahomes became the starter. Josh Allen, and him go back. They have one of the best rivalries in football. I don't see this not changing, and I think we're going to see a competitive game. I think it's going to be competitive.
And not only that, from the weather standpoint, this is going to be just as cold as it was in Kansas City. So
yep, which both teams play in that same weather. So again, that the weather factor is kind of like it's a neutral environment because they're both used to that shit. So it's not like the Dolphins coming into town. You know what I mean, dude? So
no, that it's not. So, but I would.
Well, look. At this point, I know where you're going.
I gotta go Kansas City. I just think somehow Mahomes pulls out a little magic at the end.
So I want Josh Allen to beat Mahomes for once, right? I like that whole Brady versus Peyton Manning, and right now Brady is Mahomes. You know what I mean? Where Manning just fucking kept knocking on the door, man, and Brady just kicking his ass down. And until that 1 year, then they made the Super Bowl, and it's still so numbers wise, yeah, they're there, but championship wise and wins wise, Brady owns Peyton, not Eli, but Peyton. All right. However, I want Josh Allen to actually get one on Mahomes because I think he got screwed in that fucking overtime game because of the rules. He didn't get screwed. He just got the short end of the stick because that's just the rules, right? It is what it is. The rules are there, and it happens, bro. Next time, score a touchdown is what I always say. But man, I think Josh, Mahomes, again, better coaching. I think their defense is better. I think the secondary of the Buffalo Bills is a little bit better. They're finally healthy. Just Josh Allen scares you because he could do what he did last week, but also throw 2 picks in the next game.
Yep.
So that's kind of where guys are. Hart says Josh Allen, but I think Kansas City is going to win this one. You know what I mean? Because I
Kansas City, because Josh Allen, if you can make him make mistakes, and it's easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kansas City doesn't have, they don't have the greatest secondary, but Snead will make Diggs disappear yet again. And it'll be like playing Where's Waldo out there. Where's Diggs? Oh, we can't find him because he's going to be fucking smothered all game.
And I think the key for Buffalo is, of course, Allen not to turn it over. But Allen needs to play the same way he played last week, right? Keep it conservative, make the smart throws, take off when you need to, because that's going to be another thing because, that front line is nasty, bro. They got to get after the quarterback. And they're made for a mobile quarterback, you know what I mean? So he's going to have a tough time. They got to play him a lot better than your front nine because TJ Watts wasn't there. So that's the reason why he was able to get, dude, that 52-yard run at one point, what the hell happened with the tackling? You know what I mean? You bunched him up and he stood. I mean, he's a big dude. He's a big dude and he's strong. But that's where the lack of, not having TJ there, you know what I'm saying, throughout the game, the wear and tear finally opened up a hole. So let's see what we got here. Back to the comments. Bills at Ravens, AFC Championship game. All right. It could go either way, man. That's what my heart is saying. But, Cat, you got to beat the champ. And nobody has beat the champ yet. And that's Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So, and of course, the best game of the week is the Ravens and Texans. This is one of those matchups you're like, man, I'm sorry, Jim. I didn't want your team to win because I wanted to see this instead of the Steelers. And, you think about it, because, if your Steelers would have beat the Buffalo Bills, I think the worst record would have played the best record. So
it would have been Steelers Ravens part 3, and we know the last 8 matchups. The Steelers are 7-1 against the Ravens. We got to put that out there.
Yep, no, it's there.
But this one is interesting from the standpoint of this is the most complete team I think Baltimore's ever had.
Absolutely.
And you might get Mark Andrews back for this game. So now if Lamar has all his weapons, this may not even be that close.
Dude, think about this. If they put Likely and Andrews lining up next to each other, those 2 tight ends, that's like having another 2 extra wide receivers out there. I mean, Likely can line up a wide receiver, Andrews a tight end, Zay Flowers, OBJ. Oh, geez, dude. All right, even freaking Rashad Master Bateman somewhere else. Dude, it's wild, man. They could run, and Lamar Jackson back there, what happened? I'm gonna have all this space in front of me because they don't know who the hell to guard. I mean, to cover. It's a really interesting way to match up, and you could do a lot of different things. Harbaugh can go ham a lot of the different formations if Andrews is back, because Likely has played has played as good as Andrews in his absence. You know what I mean? He's that good. But man, again, CJ Stroud's got to be competitive. We know he's got to compete, whether it's gonna be a blowout or not. But it is this defense is different. You're playing at Baltimore. It's not like they're coming to your house, right? Like you and I called it. That defense of the Browns, who, like we said on Friday, don't play the same in Cleveland than it does in the road, and you saw that. You saw that 100%. And look, let's not sleep on the defense with the of the Texans either. All right, they could make plays, so they can make plays. But I think I like the Ravens on this, like you. I think it should be a convincing game. Maybe not a super blowout, but I think it's gonna be. I got to see what the spread is, and I think definitely the Ravens on this. Lamar is headed to the AFC Championship game, either against the Bills or Kansas City, but that's definitely for sure.
a man on, like I said this morning, he's a man on a mission.
He is.
You know, he's proving he's worth every
He is.
penny of that contract right now.
Every year.
As
Every year.
that other guy in the AFC North who's just spending it at massage parlors and whorehouses.
Oh, this guy is the epitome of what you call a professional quarterback, man, and a guy that I told you, pay me because I'm going to be here for the long run, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to be successful, and that's what they did. They year one, he has them right now. I'm in the playoffs, and let's see what happens this year. They might be heading to the AFC Championship game pretty shortly about that. So. Oh man, let me see here. All right, Jim. So usually what I do, right? I usually got like, go to the week and shit like that. But since it's like the end of the season, I don't have enough options. We're gonna do something called "In Case You Missed It." All right, trending headlines. So it's called trending headlines in case you missed it. Where I'm gonna hit today's tops headlines. We're gonna react on them real quick before we shed.
Le who, the her.
God damn it, that was the wrong intro. I got too many of them, dude. I got way too many of them. I almost hit our Cigars and Sport intro as well. Well, this is called Trending Headlines in case you miss it. So first and foremost here, let me go ahead and we have, in case you missed it, we have Mr. Bill Belichick decides he actually had an interview, Jim, with the Falcons. All right, like we said earlier, man, I honestly think this is a good fit for Bill. That team is missing a quarterback, pretty much. Great running game, pretty good, decent defense. Pitts has been underutilized and underused and not used correctly, whichever way you want to put it. Also, you have a great running game in Bijan, Tyler Algier. There's pieces that fits Bill's model, if you want to say that, right? But if Bill goes to another team, his ass better bring a good damn offensive coordinator and stay the fuck out of the offensive play caller. Just work on the defense.
I think, honestly, if you bring in Belichick, I think Atlanta's got to you got to trade up to get one of the kids coming out.
Absolutely. Because
and not only that, we know what Bill could do with good tight ends. He did it with Aaron Hernandez, did it with Gronk. He's done it with a lot of them that have come and gone through New England over the course of 20 plus years. So
put it this way, whatever quarterback that's available out there through trade or free agency, right? Non-drafted. It's not the answer. Don't trade for Kyler Murray. That's not his quarterback. Russell Wilson is not going to be his guy. It's not the kind of quarterback he wants. And if he does the move of bringing Jimmy Garoppolo, who he loves, will be the biggest mistake you could ever do. But Bill is that kind of senile as well. So, you got to be careful.
Well, at 72, that'll happen.
Exactly. I mean, he's getting out there. So, let me see. Next, man, check this out. Let me see what I have next. So Jason Kelce decided he's retiring, man, after 12 seasons. He made the announcement to his teammates this past today. Actually, he went out there to his teammates and made the announcement, man, that he is calling it quits after 12 seasons. And look, this guy, one of the Kelce brothers, he's gonna make a lot of money in podcasting because they have #1 podcast. He's gonna go ahead and go do different things out here. He's gonna go and probably work for one of the major networks. He's fine, but this guy had a good career, man. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6-time first team All-Pro, Super Bowl champ. He is a classic dude, on and off the field.
He's one of those. He's probably one of the most humble guys in the NFL.
Yep,
and just a humble person in general.
Absolutely.
Not bad thing you could say about Jason Kelce. He doesn't come off as a fucking douche nozzle.
Nope.
He's a team guy, and hey, listen, he stuck it out, but he's kind of. I think if the Eagles won last night and went back to the Super Bowl, I don't know if he's calling it quits. I think he would have given it another run, but I think all the nonsense in the locker room, I think he's like, you know what? I can't do this no more. You know what? I'm married. I got 1 or 2 kids at home.
I don't need that shit.
I can make more doing a podcast with my brother and being an analyst on like CBS or Fox or whatever.
Bro.
Or even go to ESPN, add him to the Monday night crew, and maybe get Joe. I can't stand Joe Buck, but maybe put Jason Kelce with Troy Aikman.
Hey, listen, they'll put his ass anywhere. He could make the Sunday start, whatever the pregame. He'll be a quick at him. And this is what kind of dude he is, man. Look at him last year when he lost to his brother in the Super Bowl. As soon as he goes and hugs his mom, and this is the kind of value this kid was raised with. Check out this clip.
Let's celebrate the triumph. Okay.
See that? Hey, listen, he just finished playing his brother, and he goes, let's celebrate with Trav. In the fucking biggest game, I probably would have knocked my brother out. You know what I mean? That would have been the case.
I
don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what would have happened. Let me see what else we got here going on. Before we go on to the next, in case you missed it, I got one more. But here's another cool clip that I forgot to play when we were talking about the Rams and the Lions. But this is an exchange between hold on. Look at an exchange between Stafford and Jared Goff, man. That Stafford's another class act. He's always been a dude that has always played the right, regardless whether he lost or not, always been a stand-up individual and on and off the field as well. So check this out.
Appreciate it, man. Good to see you. Hey, man. Congratulations. Go. Appreciate you. Good job. Good ones help us, OB, all right? Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Respect for you. Keep going. I appreciate you, brother. Hey, good luck, man. You guys are balling. Keep it going.
He told him, go out there and win it all. All right? The hell, man. I mean, look, he spent a lot of good years in the Lions, so he doesn't have ill feeling against that team. You know what I mean? So
well, I just know at this point it was nothing personal. It's just business, and that's what it is. That's just what it was. The Rams were in we got to build, we got to win now mode. You had the issues then with McVay and Goff, obviously, and that was the simplest way. Even though the Rams gave up way more than they needed to, but still to get the guy to win you a Super Bowl and then to go back to Detroit, and fans can boo him. Listen, I understand why you booed him. It's the playoffs. Obviously you're going to boo the visiting team, but I think at the end, even Lions fans appreciate all that Stafford gave to him. All the injured games he played in and just all that. I mean, you can say that Stafford helped give the Lions their first playoff win in 30 years.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. That's true because he went in there, and that's my sports says Bill to the Eagles. Man, that would be a shit show I would pay for.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen because the Eagles pretty much already put the kibosh on that one. They're like, nope, we're not even interested, not even doing it.
No, absolutely. That's true. Here we go. Let me go to another comment here before I go to the last one. Hard not to feel good for Goff and the Lions. It's true. It's true, man. That franchise has been, it's been banged up, man. It's been, probably next to the Browns. They were probably one of those lovable losers, right? You know what I mean? That can win, missed the playoffs. Number one pick. Calvin Johnson retired early. I mean, dude, it's you got the greatest running back of all time playing for you because I think Barry Sanders is better than Emmitt Smith because he played a lot shorter. And he decided to retire early for health reasons. I mean, dude, they had players, but they just couldn't been able to put it together. So the next one, in case you missed it, I don't know if you heard about this, Jim. And I like Charles Barkley. He's one of my favorite guys because he doesn't give a fuck, right? He just doesn't straddle the line. He'll go one way and one way only, and he'll tell you the truth. And he was pretty pissed off, and he's right about the Bulls over the weekend held a Ring of Honor ceremony where Michael Jordan didn't show up, Pippen didn't show up, Rodman didn't show up. And, Jerry Krause is dead, and his wife is there, and the fucking fans boo the shit out of this old lady who's 90-something years old. I mean, there was a douchebag of the week, my man. In our show, it will be the Chicago Bulls fan for this bullshit. But here what Charles Barkley said, and in case you missed it, trending in sports. This was trending all day yesterday because he said this after his game. Check it out.
I want to be very careful here because, you know, Chicago, I love that city, but what happened in Chicago the other night was a disgrace. It was a flat-out disgrace.
The booing of Jerry Krause, the late Jerry Krause.
The booing and having his wife cry like that. That was wrong on so many levels. Michael and Scotty and Dennis not showing up, that was wrong. It was a complete disgrace to the legacy of the Chicago Bulls. They've always been a great, great organization. But for that thing to go down like that, not to have the greatest player in your organization there and won 6 championships, and Dennis and Scotty, and first of all, I don't even know why you would put 100 guys in the Ring of Honor anyway. That's just stupid. But
he's right.
What those fans did to Mrs. Krause, that was not cool. And they owe that lady, everybody involved that owe that lady an apology. Whether you like Jerry Krause or not, that man's dead. Rest in peace. His wife is there. And y'all made that lady cry, and that was total BS.
Wife, kids, grandkids.
Yeah, that was wrong, man. To have that lady crying like that hurt my heart watching that thing.
It was painful. And yeah, again, that's not an indictment of all Chicago fans by any means, but those who chose to go that way. Yeah, I'm with you. And thanks for...
You know, Chicago fans, basketball Chicago fans are a little different. You know what I mean? They're a little different than the other sports. Even in baseball, they're also pretty fucking. They're as bad as us New Yorkers and you know and anybody else when it comes to that kind of shit. But I think I agree with him. That's a pretty douchebag move to boo the guy who's been dead, and then his wife was there with all his family. Come on, man. It wasn't the guy's fault, dude. They still won 6 championships with the team that the guy put together, regardless of how much of a, I guess, Hitler personality he was. So.
I mean, that's a bad look.
Yep.
For the fan base, and then for Jordan not to be there, Pippen, especially Jordan and Pippen, because they were there for all 6.
Yep. Well, Pippen and Jordan are not getting along now. You know, between after the.
Because MJ's son's banging his ex-wife now, and apparently they're doing it 5 times a day because we needed that on Twitter. But
he's banging Lana Pippen, bro. You know, I mean, this is the woman that would go over, you know, Michael Jordan's crib. He used to party after the games, and he's holding the little boy up. Hey, look, it's I'm gonna bang you in the future. You know, holding the son. You know what I mean? That's kind of.
Nothing. A lot of people bang Scottie Pippen's ex 5 times a night, so.
That's true, man.
That ain't no hard feat to fucking accomplish with Larissa Pippen. All right.
That's true. Pretty much, man. Hey, that's what we got this week. But before I leave, I have to play you probably one of the greatest internet fucking videos I've ever seen in a long time, bro. The internet is absolutely undefeated because it has to do with the Dallas Cowbitches. And anything that the Dallas Cowgirls have, I love. Anything that does that. So let me put this over here. Hold on a second. This is funny as shit. I don't know if you've seen this yet. All right, ready? This is somebody put this up there after the game. Ready? Check this out.
Daddy, how long has it been since the Cowboys won the Super Bowl?
For the longest time.
What?
For the longest. There's no Dallas Cowboy fans inside. Are y'all still them boys after tonight? Green Bay destroyed you. No championship for you. That hasn't happened for the longest time. So much has happened since you won your last. Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, trash. Lost in the wild card. Green Bay just stood on your star. You haven't won it for the longest time. Maybe this won't last very long. You said you'd win this year, but you were wrong. Dak Prescott let down CeeDee Lamb.
Right there, that's the play.
Interception man, and that's all that he's known for.
Oh shit, man. Dude, oh man. Bro, I'm telling you, man, the internet is undefeated, man. The internet is undefeated, my guy. Wanted to end the show on that note, man. Hey, listen, Jim, thanks for an impromptu, showing up over here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I couldn't leave you hanging.
Thanks, man.
I
Appreciate it.
I'm sitting here friggin' smoking a big time here. Fuck it, let's have some fun.
You got it, man. You got it, brother. We're definitely going to be talking about our show soon. See what was going to be the next one. But definitely, thanks for jumping on. Hey, everybody that in the chat, we appreciate you. Ravery Sports, that's my sport. Let me see who else is here. Thank you out there for watching, hitting the comments up. Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk. And today, in place of cricket, my man,
Jim from the Fan and Van podcast. And by the way, is anybody still seeing Myles Garrett?
No. Miles, I think they posted a picture in a milk carton, the back somewhere.
Yep. Well, let's put it this way: it's easier to find Waldo than it is Myles Garrett right now.
That's true. That's true, man. All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Yo!